Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Cara Shirley, and I am your digital news desk host. We have a lot to get to today. There were multiple shootings overnight in Canton. A murder suspect that we told you about, or the scene we told you about, that was developing on Friday. Well, the murder suspect is now in custody, and the Jackson City Council has approved $141,000 to go to various charities to help some homeless organizations here in Jackson. We've got all of that for you. First of all, I hope you did have a good Memorial Day weekend. I hope you enjoyed it, got to spend time with your family. And I'm glad that you were here with me today on this Monday here for WLBT Plus. If you guys are joining me on Facebook, I see you here. You can also watch on YouTube. You can comment, leave any comments. I hope they're nice, but it's a free country. You say what you want to say, but you can leave your comments there. You have any questions, you can ask them, or really anything. You can go to our comment section on Facebook or YouTube. And of course, you can always watch WLBT Plus on our website, WLBT.com, or our mobile app. You can watch actually any of our newscasts there, whether it be live or on demand later on when you get a chance. Uh, First thing that I want to do before we get into the news, because we do have a lot to get to and a lot of the news that's, well, it's rather unpleasant, but we're going to put it out there. First thing, though, let's show you something nice. Let's look over. What is this? I believe this is our Renaissance camera right now over Ridgeland. It is a beautiful day outside. Lots of sun in the sky. Not that many clouds. Lots of blue. Um, Lots of heat too. But Peyton Garrison will be in just a little bit to give us an update on our forecast. I believe we're looking for some rain in our future, but she will confirm that or deny that when she comes in just a little bit. So, first on the news list today for you guys is telling you about the man who was was wanted for murder, has been captured. So he was wanted for murder in a missing persons case. Jackson Police Joseph Wade confirmed that 46-year-old Tenori Moore, who was accused of murdering Larry Reynolds, that's Tenori on your screen right there, he has been captured. So Chief Wade said he does know that he has been arrested and that he is in custody. And Chief Wade also said that he is glad that he has been caught. So JPD and the U.S. Marshals were searching for Moore, and it's unclear at this time what agency apprehended him, and it's also unclear where he is being held. But documents actually show that Tenori Moore is no stranger to law enforcement. He has a police record that dates all the way back to 1999, which that year he pled guilty to manslaughter and murder. Kind of begs the question is why was he out if back in 99 he pled guilty to manslaughter and murder? But since that date, since he assuming he went to prison since he was released. He has been arrested for several different charges, including disorderly conduct, drug trafficking, armed robbery, resisting arrest, simple assault on a police officer, and much more. More recently, in 2018, he was charged with possession of ammunition as a convicted felon and was given a federal court date. However, that court date, which was scheduled for February of this year, was postponed. And he was out on a $10,000 bond awaiting his sentencing in the federal court date. Now, today at 2 o'clock, a bond revocation hearing is slated to start at 2 o'clock, and that's going to happen before Magistrate Judge Lakeisha Greer Isaac in the U.S. District Court. We, of course, will have somebody there and finding out the information, finding out what is going to happen with him, whether he will be sent back to prison or if there's going to be a lot more that has to happen before that uh, possibly happens. We will, of course, update you on all of that. And if you download our app, WLBT. Nope. It's the WLBT News app. You can get the updates on all of that information, that breaking news, as well as a lot more that happens. Something else that happened here in the Jackson area, Jackson police are investigating the death of a man who was hit by two vehicles. It happened around 9 o'clock last night near a bridge at the intersection of West Highland Drive and Raymond Road, just not that far down from it. I'm going to pull it up on the map for you guys. So this is Raymond Road here at the bottom of your screen. Let me bring it up some for you. Raymond Road right here. And this is West Highland Drive. Right here is an overpass for I-20, and that is where it happened. They say that the windshield of one of the vehicles was heavily damaged. The victim's name has not yet been released since it is early in the investigation, but if we get that information, we will pass that along to you. Now, there was also a armed carjacking that happened in Pearl and ended in Jackson. And so the Pearl and Jackson police do need your help in solving what they're calling a kidnapping and carjacking. So Jackson police say that a woman was carjacked and then kidnapped near the Save-A-Lot that is on Highway 80 in Pearl. You can see that here on your screen. The woman told police that she was grocery shopping when a man approached her with a gun and ordered her to drive off. Detectives say the suspect forced the woman to drive into Jackson. Once they arrived in Jackson, he pulled the woman out of the car and hit her multiple times. He then drove off in the woman's 2022 black Nissan Altima. We don't have information on who the perpetrator was or the alleged perpetrator is. If you have any information on that, we ask you to please contact Crime Stoppers or Jackson Police Department so that we can get this person in custody and this woman justice. Like I said, he kidnapped her in the Save-A-Lot parking lot on Highway 80 in Pearl, forced her to drive her vehicle into Jackson, where he then pulled her out of the vehicle, hit her multiple times, and then stole her vehicle, which is a 2022 black Nissan Altima. Again, if you have any information on this, please contact Crime Stoppers or the Jackson Police Department. Now we're going to move over to Canton, where there was a lot of shootings that happened overnight. A lot of them. And we are going to give you the full update on all of those tonight. We have Chris Fields working on that, but I'm going to give you the basis of the information right now. So the first one happened at a Canton apartment complex. 3 on your side was the first there on the scene, and it was at Pecan Village Apartments in Canton. I got it pulled up here on the screen for you. It is right here where the red dot is. If I pull out just a little, you can see here is Canton right here. The Pecan Village Apartments is just north of Canton. So the details right now are limited, but what we are told is that several officers were there. Well, we know this, that several officers were there just after 1 o'clock this morning, searching the complex with flashlights. There's also bullet casings that were scattered in the parking lot, which you can see here on your screen. There's no word yet on whether anyone was hurt, but of course, we are continuing to follow this, and we'll bring you the latest information as soon as it comes available. Like I said, we have Chris Field working on that today, and when we get the updated information, we will pass it along to you guys. Now, another shooting that happened in Canton happened on Canal Street. Chief Otha Brown says that it happened at the Cypress Meadow Apartments on South Canal Street. And I do also have that pulled up for you guys to look at. So here is Cypress Meadow Apartments, where the red dot is here on your screen. And if I pull the camera out, you can see this is the town of Canton right here. And we got the Cypress Meadow Apartments right here on the side. So we got also video looking at the scene. This was just before 5 o'clock on the shooting happened just before 5 o'clock Monday evening. and the officers later identified the shooting victim as 22-year-old Jeremy Anderson. He was wounded in what they're saying is an apparent drive-by shooting and was airlifted to the hospital for treatment. We don't have an update on his condition at this time, but as soon as we get that information, well, again, we will pass that along to you. Now, earlier yesterday, two other people were shot on Harrington Drive, which is near King Ranch Road. And if you look at your screen, I'll have that for you. So here is Harrington Drive right here. King Ranch Road is right there to the right of Harrington Drive. We pulled the camera out so you guys can see where Canton is. We have Canton right here on the bottom right of your screen, circling it with the mouse. So Chief Brown says that Daquan Williams and Contavious Mack were shot multiple times while playing pool. We have information that it was, I was said multiple times. It was an egregious amount of times that they were shot. Investigators say that the suspect who came in was wearing a ski mask. They're not sure right now if any of these shootings that happened are related. Both of the men were transported to the hospital for treatment. Right now, we don't have a word on their condition. But that will be updated for you. And then following that incident that happened in Canton, there was a officer involved shooting. So an officer pulled over a car that was speeding on Singleton Street. Officials say that the officer, when she approached the vehicle, three men got out of the car and took off with long guns. The officer fired a shot, however, no one was hit. MBI is investigating this. No arrests have been made in any of these cases. And if you have any information on them, we ask to please call the Canton Police Department or Crime Stoppers so that we can get these settled. It was a very crazy night, crazy past 24 hours in Canton. I know, I believe there was another shooting that happened as well. We are getting more information on that. And if you keep tuned in here to Wlbt or download our app, you will get notification when we get updates on that. Now, over in Claiborne County, a man is behind bars this morning in connection with the shooting that happened on Sunday night. So his name is James Good, and he's charged with aggravated assault and being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. Investigators say that he shot someone in the Patterson area following an argument, and the victim was taken to a local hospital. Their condition is unknown at this time. Goods is the cousin of Claiborne County Sheriff Edward Goods. Just to give you a little connection there with that. As soon as we know the update of the victim's information and how they are doing, we will, of course, update you on that. I see you guys here on Facebook. Virginia Chase says, will you be live in the courtroom when they have the board revocation for the suspect that was arrested? Unfortunately, Virginia, we will not be live in the courtroom then, but we will have someone there on the scene in the courtroom, and we will also have a camera outside available to do any interviews if we can. And sometimes you have to get prior approval. A lot of times they won't allow the cameras in the courtroom for certain things. So we will not be in the courtroom for the bond revocation. But we are there. We will not have a camera in the courtroom. Let me put it that there. But we are there, and we will have a camera outside to try and get any kind of information that we can. I apologize, commented. She said, kidnapped in Pearl, but where did he let her out in Jackson? That information may help locate her car as well as an area to look for the suspect or suspects. And I agree with that, Shay. We don't have that information. It has not been given to us yet, but we will pass that along to you once we get it so that you guys can also help in finding that alleged suspect or suspects and get them in custody. I do appreciate your comment. Virginia, yes, I understand you meant bond and not board hearing. She commented that. Yeah, thank you so much, Virginia, for clearing that up. I think I knew what you meant. I think I probably said what you wrote, though. And Tanya Johnson says that she is praying for the city of Canton. Thank you so much for that, Miss Johnson, because I know that the city does need it right now. This is a lot of shootings, a lot that has happened over the past 24 hours there. And if you take into account the crime rates, which is done on a per capita basis, over the past 24 hours, the crime rate in Canton is a lot higher than what it normally is here in Jackson. And that is not a norm for the city of Canton. So our thoughts and prayers are with them too. And we hope that all of these cases get figured out quickly, investigated quickly, suspects are captured quickly, and the people of Canton can be at peace a little bit. Maybe some of them even get some closure for some of these shootings that happen. But I do appreciate you watching and also commenting. Now let's move to what the Jackson City Council did today during their special called board meeting. They approved $141,000 for various homeless charities here in the Jackson area, a week after the item or the vote was blocked from consideration. So they're helping several local charities, and last week 2 councilmen blocked the measure from being brought up. So on Tuesday, the council voted 5-0 to approve awarding the Emergency Solutions Grant to help nonprofits to cover costs of serving the homeless community here. Again, that was at a special approved council meeting. And we have the amounts here that were approved. So the Catholic charities, they will be receiving $14,089 for shelter. Stewpot Community Services, they will be receiving $14,089 for the Billy Brumfield shelter, as well as the same amount for Matt's house. Carter's Compassionate, Traditional, and Supportive Housing has been awarded $14,098 for shelter. I bet that's $89 there because the rest of them are either I transposed something there, but I believe it's $14,089 for shelter. And then Born to Lead will be receiving $14,089 for their street outreach and shelter. Walk in Newness, the same amount for their street outreach and shelter. And then the Voice of Calvary Ministries will be receiving $56,358.30 for their homeless prevention, rapid rehousing, and maintaining a homeless management information center. So those are all of the charities here, the homeless charities here in Jackson that did get approved for this $141,000 grant. Very glad to see that and hope that it does help those that are in the homeless community here in our area. So I'm going to jump to a commercial break real quick just so we can get Peyton Garrison in here to look at our forecast, let us know what we can expect, if we're going to see any severe weather. And so we're going to switch gears real quick. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Breaking news leader. First Alert weather coverage means that we alert you at the first sign of dangerous weather, with more weather forecasters than any other station, more weather tools than any other station, and the only station in the country with mobile weather radar technology that allows us to catch weather threats that the National Weather Service radar can't reach. Sunrise to sunset, 7 days a week. We are WLBT, 3 on your side, and Mississippi's most trusted First Alert weather team. WLBT is Mississippi's most trusted station during severe weather.
And I am back, and I am joined by Peyton Garrison. Peyton, it looks like some rain on the screen behind you.
Yeah, I mean, we're tracking some rain and even some storms in Texas and Louisiana. But I'm showing this because as you look at it as it's tracking farther in our direction, it's running into some dry air. So I don't expect big issues out of this between now and this evening. It may clip some of our far most southwestern counties, so I can't completely rule out maybe a shower or thunderstorm out towards Adams near the Natchez area, Wilkinson County. But I'm thinking most of us are going to stay pretty good for the rest of today, but that won't necessarily be the case over the next several days.
So tell us, I know we're going to have some cooler temperatures. We're
Mhm.
looking at the mid 80s, but what else do we
Yes.
have coming up for us?
Well, those cooler temperatures, if you will also come along with better rain chances as well. So today, no big issues with rain or storms. Feeling pretty warm and toasty yet again in the low 90s. But with this decrease in chances or decrease in temperatures, we'll see an increasing chance for rain. So there's those storms tracking southeastward, may clip far southwest Mississippi over the next couple of hours. Otherwise, no big issues in our forecast for this evening, overnight tonight, maybe a stray shower chance by early tomorrow morning. But around this time tomorrow, we could start to see some of those scattered downpours and thunderstorms flare up under the heating of the day. We've got a disturbance approaching the area out of the west, so this will trigger better chances for rain and storms, not just for tomorrow, but maybe the next several days, including this upcoming weekend. So I hope everyone took advantage of the pretty nice weather we had around this past weekend, despite it feeling so hot. But this upcoming weekend may be a different story, just where we may have better rain chances around.
So basically, everybody had a better chance of the sunburn this past
Yeah.
weekend than they will coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, may not be the best weekend to hang out by the pool.
Yeah.
May have, some intermission times where it's not raining. It's not going to be an all weekend washout. It's just going to be that summertime like weather where at any point, especially in the afternoon and into the evening, there may be a shower or even a thunderstorm on any given day through the rest of this week and also this upcoming weekend.
And so we got that coming. Are we looking about the same for next week? Or can you tell yet for us?
Early next week may be much of the same. Chances for rain may taper off by the middle of next week, but I think regardless, there still could be a daily chance of at least a shower or thunderstorm when it comes to next week as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know last week was kind of like a rinse and repeat kind
Yes.
of weather week for you. So whereas I don't want you to be more busy, at least you got something different to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? The next several days will almost be a rinse and repeat, just in a different fashion, or it's not going to be dry and hot every single day. The next couple of days will be not as hot, but just more unsettled. But hey, that does give us something to at least talk about on a daily basis.
Yes, it does. Peyton, thank you so much for coming in. We're going to jump into a commercial break real quick. When we come back, we're going to tell you about how the FAA is now part of an investigation of a crash that happened at the res this weekend. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. We'll be right back.
The WLBT First Alert Storm Tracker is your live look at weather conditions from a ground level view. First alerting you about severe weather like no one else and covering weather threats from every angle.
Let's go street level down, pretty close to where the circulation is. We'll get right in front of it.
Informing you first with minute-by-minute updates. We are your WLBT First Alert Weather Team, 3 on your side, and Mississippi's most trusted station during severe weather. Sponsored by Environment Masters.
And I'm back again. This is WLBT Plus. My name is Cara Shirley, and I am your digital news desk host, talking about the rain that's coming in or possible rain that's going to be coming in with these chances of storms. Make sure you download the First Alert Weather Team app. You will be able to get notifications if any severe weather comes into your area. And of course, our First Alert Weather Team will be here watching the skies for us. Speaking of skies, the FAA is now part of the investigation after that glider crash happened at the res yesterday afternoon. So the pilot was an 80-year-old gentleman, and he was being examined yesterday at a local hospital. But as far as we know, what we've been told, he was not seriously hurt. He has not been identified outside of his age, but he was rescued by a boater after his glider crashed into the reservoir and was brought to Pelahatchie Shore Park. I was not that far from there when it happened. Unfortunately, I didn't see it. I was not having fun on Memorial Day. I was doing laundry, but we are so glad that he was not injured, that no one was injured in this crash.
Once we got there, we allowed our teams kind of secure the area, and then we called the FAA to get an investigator to come out and look at everything to start their investigation. After that, we transported the vessel back here to Peleachi Shore Park and make sure we had a positive conclusion to what could have been a tragedy.
It definitely could have been a tragedy, and we are so glad that it was not. So the model number of the glider shows it was a PW5 single seat glider, which is a monotype world-class glider, and it is manufactured in Poland. I'm afraid of heights. I wouldn't want to be in that glider or anything else that high up. But again, we are very thankful that the pilot was not injured, was not seriously injured, and that no one else, especially considering it was Memorial Day, there was a ton of people on the res yesterday. And this could have been a very bad situation. Very thankful that it was not. There was also this morning a fire that happened here in the Jackson area. So firefighters responded to a call. Let me get that volume down for you guys. They responded to the call around 5:45 this morning. It's in the 100 block of Berry Hill Place. So once we were on scene, officials told us that the homeowner had grilled yesterday on Memorial Day, and then he had placed his grill near his shed at the end of the day. And what they believe happened is that the grill reignited this morning, setting fire to the shed. Now, the shed was just used for storage by the homeowner. I say just used for storage. I have some stuff in storage that I would be extremely sad to know that if it got ruined or destroyed in a fire. But thankfully, there was no one inside the shed when the fire started. There was no one injured, but the shed does appear to be a total loss. And I bring you this story today because it's not one of these big breaking news crime stories in the area, but it's just kind of a little reminder as we move farther into the summer season. More people are going to be outdoors, grilling, whatever it may be. And just remember, if you do grill and you want to make sure that that is completely out before you put your grill to the side so that you don't have something unfortunate happen like this or worse. When I lived in a house, was not a very smart person. We had our grill near the house. That would have been a very deadly situation had that been me. So I'm glad that it was just the shed. Sorry that the homeowner lost stuff in it and that it is a total loss, but glad that no one was injured. And just a little fire safety reminder for you guys as we move forward into the more grilling season. Now, something else that is happening today here in Hinds County is a public meeting set for this afternoon for the proposed solar farm, the Soul City Solar that they are looking to build in Hinds County. It's going to be a 65,000 acre solar farm on the edge of Hinds County. So the public meeting starts today at 2, actually, at the Raymond Courthouse. We will have somebody there covering that, and they are going to be there to answer any questions or ease any concerns that people may have or attempt to ease any concerns people may have about the solar panels that could be setting up in the Bolton and Raymond communities. Like I said, that's 65,000 acres of a solar panel farm. So when I told you last week about me doing a story in Clark County on a 650 acre solar panel farm, that was more than 500 football fields. The 650 acre solar panel farm that was set up in Clark County, more than 500 football fields. I'm throwing out a lot of numbers and even confusing myself here. I'm so sorry for that. But this solar farm that they're trying to put here in Hinds County, the Soul City Solar Farm, is going to be 65,000 acres. That is a lot of land that would need to be cleared for these solar panels. So if you are in that area, if this is going to affect you, you got 30 minutes to get to 30 minutes as of right now to get to the Raymond courthouse and either hear more information or ask any questions that you may have, or join part of the communities that are trying to keep this solar panel from happening. Or join part of the communities that's maybe welcoming the solar panel farm, whichever. But that is happening today at 2, and we will, of course, have more information for you on that later tonight during our newscast. So make sure you tune in for that. Now, some information that has come in just recently. Supreme Court denies oral arguments in Archie's election appeal. So last week, the Mississippi Supreme Court said in a letter to attorneys who were representing David Archie and Anthony Smith that, quote, the court is of the opinion that it has been thoroughly briefed and no oral arguments is required. So David Archie lost his reelection bid last year in the Democratic primary. He appealed that decision to the Hinds County Democrat Executive Committee, and then he appealed the decision to the Hinds County Circuit Court. The judge rejected his suit, claiming Archie didn't file his appeal on time. Well, then he took the matter to the Mississippi Supreme Court. He argues that he was unable to file his appeal because the circuit clerk's office was closed on the afternoon of September 7th. Now, at that time, several offices were shut down following a cyber attack on the county. Now, in an affidavit to the court, Circuit Clerk Zach Wallace said that his doors were locked, but the office was still open. And he also contends that had the office been closed, Archie could have called Wallace's cell phone and dropped the appeal in the clerk's basket outside of the office. So as soon as we hear information updating on that, find out exactly what the ruling will be from the Supreme Court, we will, of course, update you on that. But they will not be hearing any oral arguments in this case. So now they're just got to make their decision. And as soon as we find out what that decision is, again, we're going to update you. Now, there is a program happening here called the Cereal for Summer program, and they are hoping to feed 300 children. It is the first Cereal for Summer program that is happening. They're saying if you've seen less boxes of your favorite cereal on grocery store shelves, this might be because they were purchased for good. Organizers are stocking up for the first Cereal for Summer, which is slated to start June the 8th. They've gone everywhere from Sam's to Walmart, Kroger. They said Kroger had some great sales going on, and that was from the organizer, Mike McCullough. They're looking to feed 300 families with as much cereal as possible. They also have an event on Facebook where you can check that out. So it's going to be held at Voice of Calvary Ministries and is being funded in part by Amazon of Jackson. So if you want to find out more information on this, exactly how they are going to be feeding the families and how you may be able to be a part of this if you need to be, you can check the story out on our website, or you can look up the Facebook event that is there. Says Cereal for Summer Children's Food Giveaway Event. Of course, on our web story, we have a link to that Facebook event as well. So you can get all of that information right there at WLBT.com. So today at 3:00, there's going to be the Margaritas in May announcement for the winner of who that is. It's going to be on Studio 3. And then let's see what we've got here. Tamika Forrest says, that is great. Help parents out during the summer. That's right, Tamika. This is a great program. That's going to be helping parents out, help kids out. What kid doesn't love a bowl of frosted flute flavored rings? I don't know if I can say the name of the cereal or not without getting in trouble from the company, so we'll just say that. But yeah, it's a great thing. Every kid loves cereal, as far as I know. I could be wrong. There could be that kid out there who does not, and that kid is perfectly within their rights to not like the cereal. But again, it's a Cereal for Summer program starting on the 8th of June here in Jackson. And again, it is being put on by the Voice of Calvary Ministries. And they're hoping to feed over 300 families with some cereal this summer. Make sure when you go check out any of these stores that I've told you about today on our website that you also go to a page that is there that is the Man Cave giveaway. Let me show that to you right here. So this is sponsored by Tillman's Furniture, and you can enter now through June the 10th to win some Father's Day gifts for your dad. They're giving away a 65-inch smart TV, a Yamaha soundbar, a Marvel arcade table, a recliner, and a bar table. So you can go and register your dad to win any of these amazing gifts. And I love the arcade table. I said before, when I was little, my mom would always take us to pizza buffet, a place where they're having a buffet for pizza. And she would sit there at the little arcade table for Pac-Man. And I remember her just playing it from what I remember as a kid. It seemed like hours. It could have been 5 minutes, but as a kid, it seemed like it was forever. But that brought back some really cool memories of that. So make sure you go and register for your dad or that father in your life to win something awesome here from Tillman Furniture and our Man Cave giveaway. Again, you have until June the 10th to register for that. Let's see. Tamika said her grandkids like cereal. Exactly. I love cereal. I could eat it all the time. Oh, and her dad played the arcade table as well. See, I'm not the only one with that memory. Let me show you. I got to prove this. I got to prove a point here. Yes, Tamika said her dad did it as well. So that's awesome. Lots of memories there. Well, guys, I appreciate you joining me for WLBT Plus today. Make sure you tune in for our newscast, which will include a forecast later on today. You're going to get the update on all of the shootings that happened in the Canton area. Like I said, we have Chris Fields working on that today. You're also going to get an update on the bond revocation hearing that is being set for the for what was his name? The gentleman who was arrested for murder here in Jackson, Tenori Moore, arrested for suspicion to murder here in Jackson. We're going to give you an update on that bond revocation hearing. We're going to give you an update on the solar panel farm public meeting that is happening today for Hinds County, as well as several other things that we are working on today for you. Again, thanks so much for joining me today here on LBT Plus. I hope you guys have a great day. Maybe tomorrow I'll be able to speak without stuttering over my words. The truth is, it's probably not going to happen because that's just who I am. But I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. Have a safe day. And join me here again tomorrow at 1 o'clock for WLBT Plus. Bye, y'all.